Okay, now this is the final part for the week 1 lecture, which is the equivalent circuit of a transformer. So in a two-winding transformer, two-winding, maksudnya you have two wind, primary and secondary. So the windings are magnetically coupled, and it is difficult to do analysis. For the purpose of easy computation and visualization or visualizing, the practical transformer is converted to its equivalent circuit by keeping similar properties of main transformer. In the equivalent circuit, the parameters like resistance, reactance, voltage, and current can be transferred either from primary to secondary or from secondary to primary. So previously you have learned the rules for referring of impedance. So you can transfer impedance from primary to secondary, or the parameters from secondary to primary. So the two windings ideal transformer is shown in figure 3.12. So let's say this is your primary winding, where you have a no load parameters. You have IO, RO, and XO. And then this is your secondary part, where you have resistance at the secondary, reactance at the secondary, and the load impedance. You can transfer either from primary, the secondary to primary, or from primary to secondary. It's a vice versa, depends on the question require for you to answer. So there are two types of equivalent circuit, which is exact equivalent circuit, and the other one is approximate equivalent circuit. So for the exact equivalent circuit, the circuit will be like this. So this is the exact equivalent circuit referred to the primary. So in these parameters, all these secondary parameters, R2, X2, I2, V2, and ZL, is transferred into the primary side. So if you look at this diagram, you can see that there is the R2, I2, V2, and ZL is denoted ada dengan prime di sini, kena bagi prime. So maksudnya prime di sini is it is already converted from the secondary to the primary side. So similarly, if you look at this figure 3.14, all the parameters from the primary, the V1, I1, R1, X1, IO, IW, RO, XO, IM is transferred from the primary to the secondary. So I believe you already know, based on the previous lecture, on how to transfer, or what are the rules on how to transfer all these parameters from primary to secondary, or from secondary to primary. So the next thing is, let's look at the approximate equivalent circuit. What is the difference between the exact equivalent circuit and the approximate equivalent circuit?